Hi friends, welcome back. We are going to talk a little bit more about sorting. Last time we talked, we learned that we can sort by many different attributes or characteristics of the items that you're sorting. How have I sorted these shapes? Take a look. What group would you call this? And what group would you call this? You got it. I sorted by color. I sorted by color. So I have a blue group and I have a red group. What is another way that I could sort this group of shapes? Take a look. We'll mix them back up. What is another way? If you don't look at the color, what is another way that I could sort this group of shapes? Remember, sorting is putting things that are the same together. So, what is the same about these two items? They're not the same color, but what is the same about them? They are the same shape. They're all squares. So I'm going to put all the squares together. What's another group that I can make that will be the same? Take a look at the rest of the shapes that I have left over. Is there something the same about these? You got it. They're all circles. So I'm going to put all the circles together. And then what do I have left over back here? You're correct. I have triangles. So I have now sorted the same group of items in a different way. I sorted them by their shape, So what would you call this group? You're right, the square group. What would you call this group? The circle group. And then we have the triangle group. Awesome. So, two ways I can sort this group of items, but I'm going to show you a new item that we are going to sort. This is a pile of buttons. These are buttons. And you'll notice all the buttons have things that are the same about them and things that are different about them. So I have to look and think about how I want to sort these because there are so many different ways that I could sort these buttons. I could think about their colors. I could think about the markings on them. I could think about how many holes they have. I can think about their size. Let me show you one way that I could sort these buttons. I'm going to show you one way I could sort them. All right, I'd say this is one way that I could sort the buttons. What do you notice about these buttons over here? What group would you call this? And what do you notice about all the buttons over here? What group would you call this? I noticed that all of these buttons are big, so I put them together because they're all big or large buttons. These are all small buttons, so I put all the smaller buttons together, and in the middle I have the medium-sized buttons. So I sorted my buttons by size. I'm going to sort them another way and see if you can guess how I sorted my buttons. It doesn't have to do with their size this time. All right. sometimes you have to think about which pile a button belongs in or which group an item belongs in when you're sorting. And sometimes things could go either way. So, how do you think I sorted my groups this time? How did I sort my buttons? Do you notice anything that's the same about all of these? Or similar? It might not be exactly the same. Take a second to think about it. And do you notice anything that's similar about all of these? I notice that all of these buttons are darker colors. They're darker colors. And all of these buttons are brighter colors. So I put a group of darker colors and a group of brighter colors together. So I can call this my bright group and this my dark group. Let's see if you can figure out one more way that I am going to sort my buttons. One more way. And this is a little tricky. So you have to look really close. If you're gonna figure it out. Okay, all of these ones are gonna go on this side, and I'm gonna give you a clue. It doesn't have anything to do with the colors, and it doesn't have anything to do with the size. It doesn't have to do with the colors or the size. Look really closely at my buttons and see if you can figure out how I chose to sort them. I wonder if anyone could figure it out. It's kind of a mystery. I'm going to give you a hint. Take a look at the holes on my buttons. Take a look at the holes on my buttons. Look at this group of buttons. How many holes do you see on each button? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these buttons have 4 holes. How many holes do you see on each of these buttons? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I sorted my buttons in a totally different way by how many holes are on each button. I hope you've enjoyed this sorting lesson, and I hope that you can find some really awesome things to sort around your house. Have a great day, friends.